Hey guys, what it do? It's your boy Supreme Uchiha the God. So I want to talk about something. I don't want to call it. It's not controversial or whatever, but I just want people to like bear in mind that this is, it's not. Don't take it too deeply. But I think it's a conversation worth having, right? I think it's something that maybe a lot of people maybe don't think about off the bat, and that's one of the reasons why I wanted to bring it up. But I want people, if there's an actor or actress or whatever that you feel like, oh man, how could you not think the ultra most attractive person on earth? Just bear in mind that this is more for conventional norms. You know what I'm saying? Like what's considered, maybe in the past 20 years, it's not that different. You know what I'm saying? We're not talking about movies like Gone with the Wind because that shit old as hell and I just can't be bothered going that far back. But I want to talk about something that I found interesting. Thinking back, just growing up and all that stuff. Yesterday I was thinking like, oh, what should I make a video about tomorrow? And it popped into my head. I was like, what about faces? And what brought it up is The Mandalorian. I was watching The Mandalorian and I was loving it. I'm not a huge Star Wars fan. I kind of liked it growing up a little bit, but I was never like absolutely in love with it. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, oh, like I was watching The Mandalorian. This is actually pretty good. It's a bit wacky. It's a little bit, you know what I'm saying, clunky, but I like it. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's good. Like I fuck with it. It kind of reminds me of like peak Star Trek, but it's like interesting and shit. You know what I'm saying? He's a traveler, lonely traveler, all of that stuff. And I was like, this story is really, really good. And then I think it was episode 7 of season 1, and he gets his mask removed because he's a Mandalorian, he's not supposed to remove it, blah 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 blah, in front of any living creature, and he doesn't. To be fair with him, and you see his face, and I'm kind of like, that's not what I expected. I expected some motherfucker badass looking motherfucker like me or something. You know what I'm saying? I expected that. And then I was thinking, why did I expect that, right? And that's kind of what brought forth this idea, this kind of like theory chat. I wanted to have a conversation about it, and hopefully people have some thoughts about it. And I was thinking, okay, wait a minute. Why did I automatically think, damn, he's not like conventionally what I thought he should be? He was a little bit chubby, you know what I'm saying, a little bit puggy, and his hair was all over the place. I was like, you know what I'm saying? And yet, if you think about some of our favorite movies of all time, I know a lot of people are probably huge original Spider-Man fans. And when I say original, I mean Tobey Maguire. Tobey wasn't exactly a world beater. He's no Tom Holland. Like, come on. You know what I'm saying? He's no Tom Holland. He's not no world beater. You know what I'm saying? And you're like, oh, but he blew up. But then, with that, we can give the excuse that the IP is huge. It's fucking Peter Parker. It's Spider-Man. It's already huge. It already has a fan base. The look wouldn't matter that much as long as he kind of looks like the idea of Peter Parker. People would fuck with it and it would get money, right? Okay, so you're like, okay, that's fair enough. That's fair enough. But then we obviously know the Amazing Spider-Man, where they try to make us believe that Andrew Garfield would not be just stealing everybody's girl in school, or wouldn't be the fucking heartthrob of the school, and people would try to bully this man. Like, come on, bro, come on. I know he's an actor. He could have done job, but come on, man. Have you seen this man? Have you seen this man? Have you seen his hair? Come on, stop playing with me. So obviously that was kind of like, come on, guys. Peter's supposed to be a little uglier. Like, I know you got Tom Holland. He's really attractive, but he also kind of looks like a nerd. And also, they modernized it where it's like a nerd can look like a fucking Greek god and still be a nerd. But back in the days, it wasn't really conventionally known like that. So I think like, unfortunately how did I just forget his name? What the fuck? For the Amazing Spider-Man actor, I was in such a perfect spirit. I was just saying his name like the whole time. What the hell? And it just slipped my mind. Goddamn Andrew Garfield. Jesus Christ. Andrew Garfield, I think, like I think it was just the timing wasn't amazing. I think if Andrew Garfield was the actor today, if he was still as young as he was back then, and he was the actor today, people would buy that. You know what I'm saying? Because I think they could sell it better. Because anybody can be a nerd now. Anybody can kind of be an awkward, antsy teenager or whatever the fuck. You know what I'm saying? Anybody can be that in the internet age. But back then, I mean, the internet was popping up, but it wasn't the same way. So I feel like that already was like something, which was weird because it was one of the few times people were like, oh, he's too attractive for the role. Like, you never really get that. It was like, oh, wait a minute, what? You know what I'm saying? So I found that intriguing. And then I was looking at like all the highest grossingest films of all time, right? And I'm gonna just run through some of it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna run through every single one of it, but just let's go with a quick top. I'm gonna skip all animations because animations. So you have Iron Man 3, that's one of the highest grossing films of all time at number 19, right? You have the whole Furious franchise, so that's every Furious movie that's in this list. Some of it, I think the highest is like 7 or 5 or something like that. I skipped Beauty and the Beast just because he has Emma fucking Watson. So, even though the Beast is ugly, but you got Emma fucking Watson, and then it's also a kids movie, and kids, it's a little bit different. It's a bit awkward to like delve into the psyche of a kid, right? Because they're the ones that, and I suppose this is what I'm getting to. They're the ones that get not manipulated per se, but programmed to see beauty standards or beauty in a certain way, right? If you only see certain types of women to be attractive in shows and movies, that kind of like, even though a lot of people probably won't admit it, I know at some point you probably can end up developing your own, and a lot of people do, but some people are stuck in that, right? That's why you got these quote unquote simps paying for OnlyFans, because it's the conventionally attractive girl they could never have, or the attractive nerdy girl they wish they had, right? Those are the things that they chase, and these women exploit this from us, from men, right? And they make tons and tons of cash for it, right? Alternatively, there's also the exact opposite, probably OnlyFans base, that's not as popping as the men one, just because men are way more, what I'm saying, just aggressive when it comes to this shit. But women that want conventionally attractive men, or women that want the nerdy attractive man, or the bad boy attractive man, whatever the fuck it is that they wish, and they get that and they pay for that. You know what I'm saying? So I think this is kind of where I think it comes from. I think these things, if you look at all of these movies, so Jurassic World, for example, you have Chris Pratt, like that's a handsome motherfucker, man. You know what I'm saying? So like, if you have someone, let's say, I don't know, I don't want to call anybody ugly, let's say an uglier actor, would that movie sell as much? Would people be automatically as drawn to it? Now, I know the IP is fucking ginormous, so that could help it. So, and that's the thing as well with IPs. Sometimes IPs can override any conventional thinking from our minds. You know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to think here. I'm just, being creative about it. If we look at Star Wars, right? The original Star Wars movies. Come on, Han fucking Solo was a Greek god. You know what I'm saying? You got Luke Skywalker, looked handsome. He was the pretty boy. You know what I'm saying? They had everything. All of these motherfuckers were attractive as shit. The main cast was super attractive. Obviously, mine is like Chewbacca and shit. But they were super attractive. So, it's easier to buy into that, I think, right? Like, it's psychologically speaking. I'm not a psychologist. I'm not claiming to be a psychologist. I'm just giving my thoughts and my perception on it. Now, you can comment down below your thoughts if you agree or disagree. That's kind of the point of the conversation, right? This is my quote-unquote theory. Then if we go to the new Star Wars, right, the actors aren't like ultra attractive. You know what I'm saying? Daisy Ridley's attractive, but I don't think she's like super ultra fucking, you know what I'm saying? She's no Angelina Jolie prime, like, you know what I'm saying? She's not Angelina Jolie prime. She's not Megan Fox prime. Like, let's be real about it. You know what I'm saying? And like, that doesn't mean for me personally, I'd more than likely be attracted to a Daisy Ridley than a Megan Fox, not an Angelina Jolie, because that's my childhood crush, you know what I'm saying? So that's different. But I'd more than likely to be attracted to a Daisy Ridley than a Megan Fox. But I also understand that in conventions, in the conventional norm, if you put, remove popularity out of it, you just put these two girls and ask who's more attractive, 90% of people are going to say Megan Fox. And that's just, that's real, right? So again, please don't get offended. This is just, it. Then if you look at Harry Potter, the books were already highly successful. So there was no real pressure to put attractive people into the role. Also, the little kids, so nobody would give a shit at that age, or that age. Cooties are everything, blah blah blah. Now, luckily enough for the IP, they grew up to be rather, reasonably attractive. Rupert Grint is he's okay. I think his hair is a bit insane. Obviously they got Emma fucking Watson, one of my childhood crushes as well, and they got goddamn man, how am I forgetting Harry Potter's own goddamn name? Daniel Radcliffe. Daniel Radcliffe himself. I have notes out just for safety. But yeah, Daniel Radcliffe is, he's okay. He's pretty, he's not like a world beater, but he's okay. But the IP again kind of carries it, right? So, and I'm getting to something here. Black Panther, come on. Chadwick, fucking Michael B. Jordan, come on. And also, the fucking Marvel IP in general, right? Fast and Furious, we already went through that. You got Vin Diesel, the big, bulky, fucking bigger than, or I don't really think he's that attractive, but fucking Paul was ultra attractive. So, it kind of made up for it. The whole Avengers is, the main trio is super attractive. So, it's not that big of a deal. They actually run this fucking list. And then you have Titanic, right? Leonardo the fucking DiCaprio. You know what I'm saying? Come on. You do have Avatar. I think Avatar is a little bit loose here because I don't think the guy is like that attractive. Sam Worthington, I wouldn't call him like ooh. But again, for the most of the movie, he's a fucking alien. You know what I'm saying? He's a blue alien. Like the alien looks attractive for an alien. You know what I'm saying? So like, does that, do you think that that helps sell the movie? Now I think by them going alien, I think it made the movie more popular because people are more interested to find out like what type of story you telling, etc., etc., etc. I think it does make it more ambiguous, right? And you get away with it. So that's kind of where animation and stuff like that plays a role. Kids are gonna want to watch the movie. Adults are gonna want to watch the movie, and it just brings a wider audience. So I think that one is it's interesting, but I don't think it goes to the rest. But what I grew up on, and this is mainly what I wanted to get on, is like Knight Rider, right? Fucking David Hasselhoff, is it? What's his name? David Hasselhoff, whatever. Handsome as fuck. Goddamn, Chuck Norris, fucking Bruce Lee, you know what I'm saying? Jackie Chan, these get like Jet Li, these motherfuckers were hella attractive back in the days, you know what I'm saying? Like people may think now they look old and shit, like these motherfuckers were attractive. Even Sylvester Stallone built like a fucking roadblock, you know what I'm saying? Like come on, it's Sylvester Stallone. If you look at the Terminator franchise and all of those movies, like these motherfuckers were jacked, and I was like, that's like a man, you know what I'm saying? Like that was like my idea of what a man gotta be. And then whenever you had like a quote unquote ugly protagonist, they were always a fucking represented as a fucking loser, right? If you look at the American Pie movies, all of that stuff, they were usually like the main guy is never that unattractive, but if they were considered unattractive within the universe that they're in the film or whatever, they were always considered to be big ass losers. You know what I'm saying? Is that like a negative thing? What you think? Does that doesn't affect that? Definitely can't be good for like kids growing up on those movies, because if people don't find them attractive, that's gonna fucking, they're like, damn, I must be a fucking loser, because all you grow up watching is people not considered attractive to be losers. Drake and Josh, I love Drake and Josh, absolutely one of my favorite shows of all time. I don't care, don't at me, it's fucking phenomenal, loved it, everything, the movie, all of it. But Josh was like a complete loser until he lost weight. Obviously, I think it's healthy. You know what I'm saying? I think, it was pretty, it's a good message. You know what I'm saying? I know people now are like, oh, fucking weight, whatever. And I think it's fine to a certain degree. I think there's a reasonable standard where it should be like, okay, from this weight to this weight, you should be 100% comfortable. But when it becomes deteriorating to your health, you know what I'm saying? When it comes deteriorating to your health, I think at that point, motherfuckers gotta be like, yo, lose that shit. You know what I'm saying? Whether they're comfortable in the skin or not, that's health. You know what I'm saying? It's the same way we don't want our kids to smoke. We don't want, you know what I'm saying? It's that same reasoning. You know. So look, I know. Hopefully, people, you know what I'm saying, don't kill me. I'm just speaking. You know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to open a dialogue on like beauty standards in the film industry, right? I think it shaped a lot of us in a lot of ways that we might not even be sure of or might not be aware of subconsciously. You know what I'm saying? Like I always consider myself like the main character in my life. I don't know, has anybody ever thought of that? Like see themselves as the main protagonist, you know what I'm saying? And then, sometimes some things happen, you're like, man, am I really the protagonist in my life, bro? Like the fuck? You know what I'm saying? That's I think that's intriguing, right? Do you not think it's intriguing? I think it's a really intriguing thing and a conversation that I think a lot more people maybe should have. So anyway, going forward, if you look at like Titanic, come on, people, everybody's girlfriend wanted a Leonardo DiCaprio, right? But you is not a Leonardo DiCaprio. You know what I'm saying? Let's be honest. You're not no Leonardo DiCaprio. I'm not no Leonardo DiCaprio. You know what I'm saying? Especially prime Leonardo the fucking DiCaprio. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's the thing about it. Like, so you have women expecting these type of guys, and then you have guys expecting other, the Megan Foxes of the world. You know what I'm saying? The Angelina Jolies of the world. Like, motherfucker, like what? You know what I'm saying? Perfect fucking slick back stomach with no rolls on that dick. Like, really? That's not the norm. You know what I'm saying? And then, girls will be expecting six packs and fucking, the V line on the belly and shit like that. That's not the norm either. You know what I'm saying? But that's what we expect the norm to be because of all these movies and shows and stuff like that we consume. And why I wanted to bring up the 20 most, grossingest movies of all time, minus the ones with the IPs. If you look at like Titanic, which didn't have an IP before that, I know it's a real life story, blah, 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 but I don't think it would have sold nearly as much if Jack looked like fucking Timothy from down the pub. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's be honest, I don't think it would have sold as much if Jack looked like that, especially since it's one of the movies that's highly catered to women. And then if you look at like The Notebook, same, they got goddamn fucking is it Cooper? Is it what's his? It's not Cooper. Ryan fucking Gosling. You know what I'm saying? Come on, another fucking heartthrob motherfucker. Like, you know what I'm saying? Obviously, people are gonna pop off with that shit. Girls are gonna be going nuts off that shit. You know what I'm saying? The woman in the story, man. What's her name again? Let me just see the Notebook. She hella, bro. Come on, don't tell me you would not. It's not Natalie Portman, right? Surely it's not Natalie. Is it Natalie Portman? Holy shit, is it Natalie Portman? No, it's Rachel McAdams. She a fire ass. Come on, you know what I'm saying? Like, they have a super conventionally attractive guy and a super conventionally attractive woman, and you like, damn, that's what I want in life. But it's like, in life, you ain't neither of these motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? You ain't either of these motherfuckers, but now your standards are these motherfuckers. And I think that definitely can't be good for the, you know what I'm saying? I think that's why a lot of people are lonely and they don't even realize this shit. You know what I'm saying? This is, again, I'm just spitballing. I'm no psychologist. I'm just giving my goddamn opinion. You know what I'm saying? I hope people can have an open conversation. I'm 100% okay if you completely disagree with me, if you think I'm talking nonsense. But comment that shit below and let me know what you're thinking. Because I really think that it affected how I view women and stuff like that, right? You know what I'm saying? It took me a while to like gain my own taste. You know what I'm saying? What I'm looking for in terms of looks, in terms of personality and shit like that. It was always like, I see the conventional bound girl, the Emma Watson of the story. I'm like, yeah, I need that motherfucker in my life. I told the motherfucker that shit could be the most boring conversation in my head. I'm like, but damn, she hot. You know what I'm saying? Like, what? You know what I'm saying? Like, what am I doing? Am I stupid? You know what I mean? And that's the thing. I think a lot of people feel and think this way because I don't think I'm that unique when it comes to, like, you know, women and men and attractiveness and all of that shit. I don't think I'm that unique, right? So that's the crazy thing about it. Like, I feel like these movies, these grossing behemoths of movies, you know, that we grow up on really dictates. Like Ugly Betty, I remember watching Ugly Betty, and like it took me ages to get into that bit because I was like, she not that attractive, bro. But her friend though, I'm like, oh goddamn, her friend though, ooh wee. You know what I'm saying? And I think that was like a smart marketing ploy because I think, you know, people that made that show obviously realized that that was something missing within the market, right? And I think that's what maybe shows like the Grassy pop off with the youth, and they're great shows to have, I think, because you have all types of shapes and sizes and people and all of that stuff within those shows. And I know now diversity is being pushed to the fucking brim to a point of annoyance, but I think it is necessary if it's represented correctly, if it's just there. But the characters are just characters. Now you have a character that's black, just gotta be, you know, their blackness gotta matter. Like, it can't just be a character that just happens to be black, but their blackness gotta matter. There has to be some kind of, a lot of black people don't face racism to that extent, or don't, you know, have gone their life pretty chill, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, everybody kind of might have got bullied, like, you know what I'm saying? The fat kid probably gets way more bullied and way more hate than the black kid, you know what I'm saying? In some places, in some parts, we want that represented too, you know what I'm saying? We want all of that represented, you know what I'm saying? And I think it's important when you look at, like, quote unquote, the ugly girl. She's always got to be represented as the ugly girl, but sometimes, quote unquote, ugly girl is with the hottest girls. And everybody now thinks she's kind of attractive because she's with other hot girls, and she's like, you know what I'm saying? She's like, you know what I mean? It's like, it's weird. Like, she's not ugly, but like, she's not quite as attractive as the rest of her girlfriends. But people find her attractive because she hangs out with the most attractive girls. Or, you know what I'm saying? Like, why does she always have to be represented as the ugly girl or the one that's, you know, just in the fringes? Like, why can't she be just as, you know what I'm saying? Like, they always gotta put it in your face, and I think that's kind of a little bit annoying. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like characters these days need to just be motherfucking characters. You know what I'm saying? And not every show gotta have a woke ass message. You know what I'm saying? Some shows should just be escaping reality, and I think it's important to talk about these issues as well. But sometimes I feel like it's just like it's so shoved into your throat. You're like, bro, I get it on Twitter, I get it on YouTube, I get it on Facebook, I get it on Instagram. Now I'm getting it in my shows. Come on, fam. You know what I'm saying? Can I just watch some shit and be entertained and see somebody that kind of represents me, nigga? Like, can I get that? You know what I'm saying? It feels like that sometimes, and I think that's something I find intriguing. So I feel like you know, how much do you think it's affected you? I know I kind of rambled off a little bit, but how much do you think it affects you, like seeing characters portrayed a certain way, right? I know some people find it hard to be attracted to, let's say, black girls or black guys or white guys because of what they grew up watching, and they may not know that. If all they grew up was watching like Trouble and all of that shit, they might be like, oh, I'm not attracted to white people. You know what I'm saying? Because all they saw was black couples, all they saw was black people. You know what I'm saying? And it's the same, vice versa, right? If you watch most shows, it's all white people. If you go to Asian shows, obviously naturally, because there's not a lot of colored people. Well, I mean, there's a lot of colored people in Asia, but in those parts of Asia where those, animes and stuff like that are made, there's not a lot of them. So you get a lot of like just, you know, light skinned people, right? And I think anime has been making a real effort in putting in black characters, but in a very kind of subtle way. I think like if you look at like Cowboy Bebop, they did that time ago. I think a lot of them were kind of conscious of it. You know what I'm saying? Some of the creators were conscious of it from early time, and I think they did a great job in integrating the characters because they were just characters. Some of them, you know, stylistically, you know, they're kind of a little racist, you know what I'm saying? But it's anime, so you just gotta forget that bitch, you know what I'm saying? Because that shit go off, you know what I'm saying? So it's interesting. It's interesting how we view things. I think like if the more you put it and place normality to it without exactly pointing, oh, there's a black actor in it. You know what I'm saying? If you look at like Ito Town, which is a great show, I like how they represented it, even though it was like he's black for being black initially, but you see that the characters in the show also hired him for that reason, because they was like, oh, he gonna speak English or some shit. And then when he wasn't speaking English, they were like, why did we hire you? So so I love that. I love that aspect of it because it's real, right? And I think it definitely needs to be talked about. But I think there's just ways of going about it. Same thing with attractiveness. I think like when it's like you have a quote unquote morbidly obese person on screen and you like be happy with your body, quote unquote Lizzo, for example. Not to attack Lizzo or her fans, but that's not healthy, my boy. Like, that's not something you should be telling girls to be happy about. I'm sorry. I am no way in hell letting my daughter like get that big. Are you mad? I'll make her run hills, bro. I'm gonna run with her. Are you crazy? That shit unhealthy. That's a heart attack. You know what I'm saying? Like, what? So I think like there's certain aspects where it's like, okay, if a girl looks like, I don't know, who's like kind of built but not like built, not like, you know, not like those. I think you can do that and portray them as like, yeah, it's acceptable to be like this. It's okay to be like this. You can be attractive like this. But I think once you reach past a certain threshold, even if you can be attractive, it's just not healthy. So you shouldn't be that. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of my take on it. But I don't know how much this has affected any of y'all, if it has affected you at all, that like the conventions you see in movies and shows and stuff like that dictated, you know, at least in the early life, I don't know if he still does, how you look. Now, if you look at somebody like Sigourney Weaver in Alien, she's actually, when she was youth, she was kind of attractive, you know what I'm saying? But in Alien, they made every effort to make her not look attractive, you know what I'm saying? You see they do that sometimes, you see that, where they try their best to make somebody not, Zendaya in this first Spider-Man, they tried their hardest not to make her look attractive, but come on, it's fucking Zendaya, boy. Come on, it's Zendaya, boy. You know what I'm saying? It was different. It was different. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's the thing about it. Like, I think it's cool to kind of have that, you know, conversation about it. I don't know, bro. I don't know. I hope you guys enjoyed the conversation. The West Shit, God, man, I'm out.
I got friends now. You ain't know, but I got friends now. I'm balling now.